You know, if you're in between sizes, you may consider going half up in the peg. Hey everyone, and welcome back on the channel. My name is Alex. In today's video, we are comparing the Nike Pegasus 39 just released against the Nike Vomero 16. This is a 2021 shoe, still very relevant in 2022. Without no further ado, let's dive in today's battle. The specs. First of all, the weight. We're looking at 282 grams for the Pegasus 39 against 324 grams for the Vomero 16. There's no big question around it. The peg is lighter, you can feel it. Weight is out of the way. Now let's look at the Durometer scores. Here we have some React, which is a blend of EVA and TPE, unlike what I said in the Peg 39 review. EVA plus TPE, and it ranks at 28.8 on the Durometer scale, ranging from 0 to 100, 0 being super soft, 100 super hard. And here we have some ZoomX, Pebax foam, and SRO2 carrier, which is EVA based. The ZoomX foam ranks at 33.5, and the SRO2 carrier ranks at 34 on the Durometer scale. The numbers suggest that the peg is a bit softer, and yes, it is a bit softer. That is also because of the stack height and drop, and so let's give you the numbers for that. Stack height and drop, we're looking at 29.5 in the heel, 10 millimeters drop, so 19.5 in the forefoot on the Vomero 16, and 33 in the heel on the peg, 10 millimeters drop as well, 23 in the forefoot. So it feels softer, and that's also because you have a bit more ground feel on the Vomero, especially in the forefoot, lower to the ground, a bit firmer, and yeah, more ground feel. So there you go, that's the main differences based on the Durometer scores, which correlate with the rides, which is not always the case. Remember, comparing objective numbers with subjective feelings, that's what we do here. And also because of the stack height. So that's a bit for the ride, but we'll come back to that in the points section. Width of the platform, the Vomero is significantly wider, especially in the forefoot and in the midfoot. Heel is a bit wider on the Vomero. I hope you can see nicely the two platforms. Heel is also a bit wider on the Vomero, but the main differences are in the forefoot and the midfoot. The peg doesn't feel necessarily super narrow, but it's less than average in terms of platform width. I think it would benefit from maybe a couple extra millimeters of width, especially in the forefoot. The heel is very stable on the Peg 39, but the forefoot may benefit a couple extra millimeters of width for the platform. But you know, that's a bit nitpicking here. Let's move on to the second section in this video, the one where I describe a bit the ride of the shoes and give one word for each. So the Vomero is lower to the ground, a bit more ground feel. The upper is quite hot here on the Vomero. We'll come back to that in the point section. And overall, I would say this is a shoe that is a bit more traditional in terms of ride, closer to the ground, and it's a premium traditional type of all-rounder, daily trainer / all-rounder. You can do pretty much everything in the Vomero. It has some limits. Check my trends video, episode number 4 that released last week. It has some limits, 100%. Yeah, traditional premium all-rounder type of shoe. Peg 39 is a very versatile daily trainer, no surprises, super capable, very good update to the peg lineup, very capable again, but nothing spectacular and nothing very funny about it, which is a bit my only issue, if you want to call it an issue with it, but it's a very solid trainer. So yeah, and a bit higher in terms of stack height, a bit softer in terms of ride, and a nicer heel to toe transition. So if you're a heel striker, I think the Peg 39 may work a bit better. If you're a midfoot, forefoot striker and you like that close to the ground feel, Vomero. One word to describe each, I would say solid for the Peg. It's a solid shoe, no doubt. And the Vomero, I would call it a maybe something like, it's tricky. I wanted to say out of date because it feels a bit like out of date, but on the other hand, I like it, and so I will go with premium low to the ground, which is one word. It's not, but you know what I mean. So premium low to the ground is how I would call it. The Vomero, and solid is the one word. I'm cheating a bit with that, but maybe my English vocabulary isn't sufficient to give one specific word about the Vomero. But that's how it is. By the way, if you're enjoying this video, if you're enjoying shoe battles, shoes in general, endurance sports, subscribe to the channel, give it a like, give a like to this video. It doesn't cost you anything, but it helps the channel to grow. So thanks a lot if you can do that. I really appreciate it. And I think 70% of you watching aren't subscribers of the channel. So if you do the math with the subscribers count we have, and yeah, if you do the math, we could be a much bigger channel in terms of subscribers, which counts in the end to get shoes, get sponsorships and all that stuff. So if you want to help, please subscribe. Thanks a lot for that. Let's go to the points. 2 shoes, so 1 point for each section. The winning shoe gets a point, the losing shoe gets 0 points. Let's begin with the upper. Upper, I will give it to the peg. It's a more streamlined upper, it's a more breathable upper, and overall I think it's an upper that works a bit better. The flywire system back on the Peg 39 is a good thing, and the upper on the Vomero is too hot, a bit too plush, and yeah, so point for the peg. Fit, I will go with the Vomero, a bit more comfort in the Vomero, a bit more padding, which is counterintuitive with the point I gave to the upper for the peg, but the comfort and the overall fit of the Vomero is a bit better, a bit more true to size. The peg is a true to size, but short true to size. So if you have, you know, if you're in between sizes, you may consider going half up in the peg. The Vomero has a bit more room in the at the front of the shoe. And overall, I would say the fit is a bit better on the Vomero, but there's absolutely nothing wrong with the fit on the peg. So that's, you know, it could have been the other way around had I shot the video tomorrow. Midsole, surprisingly, I will go with the peg. And that's simply because I think, despite my preference being for the Vomero midsole, I think more people will enjoy the peg midsole. It's a bit more compliant, easy to live with, better I think for heel strikers, and a bit softer. And I know people nowadays are also looking a bit more for that soft, cushioned type of feel. But my preference goes for the Vomero in terms of midsole. Ride of the shoes, and here I will go with the Vomero. You know, that's a really personal preference. I think the Vomero works a bit better for my type of gait cycle, stride runner, longer strides, and a bit lower cadence. I'm a midfoot, forefoot striker, and that wider platform also works nicely. Be careful though, some people find the AirPods in the Vomero a bit protruding, which I think is true to a certain extent. You feel them a bit less, the Air Zoom pods, in the forefoot of the peg. So if you don't like having something a bit, you know, under your feet and feeling it too much, you may want to go with the peg. But in terms of ride, I think the Vomero has a slightly broader range of paces at which it will work for most people. It's limited at the very high end of paces, whereas the peg can do everything, and it can be your one only shoe in a one shoe rotation, 100%. But it feels more restricted at higher paces, tempo paces compared to the Vomero. Both shoes work very well at easy recovery, endurance, marathon pace. You can do it, you can use them for that, 100%. Outsole, and here I must admit it's a draw. I think both are pretty nice. The one thing that will maybe changed my mind is the two lines here, grooves that you have on the peg, which allow for a bit more flex in the forefoot. And because the Vomero doesn't have them, I will go with the outsole and the outsole design of the Pegasus. The outsole on the Vomero is slightly thicker and may have a better durability. So, you know, if you took these shoes past, let's say, 600-700 Ks, or even more, 800 Ks, and you have a feedback for me that will come for the Peg 39. I don't think many people took it past those mileages, but let me know. I'm very curious to hear. This video will be on YouTube forever, let's call it, so you can always drop in the comment section and let me know if you had the two of them or only one, how it was after a certain bigger mileage. I'm quite curious to hear. Maybe a bit better durability on the Vomero again, but slightly better outsole design here on the peg with those two grooves. But I'm repeating myself. Price point, 150 euros, $150, 120 euros, $120. Point for the peg. Money counts, and you know, 30 euros difference, $30 difference. Get the peg unless you really want that specific Vomero ride, which I can understand. And had I to choose between the two shoes, I would pick the Vomero because I prefer the ride of the Vomero. It works better for me. But again, I think it really depends what you're looking for. What is your type of gait cycle, type of training paces at which you want to use these two shoes in your rotation. If you have questions, let me know in the comments. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was useful. Again, please give it a like, subscribe if you aren't a subscriber of the channel yet. Enjoy your run today, enjoy your ride, and I'll see you in the next one. And I forgot, I will put here somewhere the review of the Peg 39. I think it makes sense. Go check it out. Thanks a lot for watching and see you soon. Bye bye.